Hey, how's it going everyone? I hope that you are all having an amazing day. This video is going to quickly go over the Leagues 3 news post that Jagex just released. We are only an hour or so away from the start of Leagues 3 now, so I am going to quickly breeze through this news post as fast as possible. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting that like button. Also, I'm going live right here on YouTube when Leagues 3 starts, so come and check that out if you feel like it, but let's cut this plug and get right into it. So they posted a lot on their website, but for time's sake, I am simply going to go over the fragments and set effects and the tasks. We are going to be able to go over all of those individually, which is really great. And a lot of the other information that's in this post is information that we should all know. But let's start off by talking about probably the most anticipated part, which is the fragments and the set effects. There are an absolute boatload of fragments to go over here, and Leagues is actually coming out in like an hour, so I'm not going to put a whole ton of editing into this video and post the picture of every single fragment on the screen as I read over it. So you can just set your phone or whatever you're watching this aside and listen to this if you'd like. Also, I'm only going to read the level 1 version of each fragment just to save time, because there is a ton here and you can just assume that it gets better as you level up the fragment. Starting off with Unholy Wizard, which is where magic attacks will have a 40% better accuracy with 0 prayer. Next is Thrall damage, where your summoned creatures will deal 33% more damage. And then Arcane Conduit, which we just went over. Zamorakian Sight is another one, which is where when you are wielding 4 Zamorak items, you have a 20% increased accuracy. Next is Enchanted Jeweler, but we've all seen that. So moving on to Smithing Double, which is where smithing at an anvil has a 5% chance to give 2 of the end product with full experience. Alchemaniac is the next one, which is where High Alchemy will give you 15% bonus gold. Rumple Bowstring is next, which is where spinning flax yields 10 bowstrings instead of 5. Dragon on a Bit is next, and this one is where when you are crafting Dragonhide armor, you have a 10% chance that the material will be saved and sent back to your bank. Next is Imcando's Apprentice, which is where smithing gem jewelry has a 20% chance to give you twice the end product. Grave Robber is the next one, which is where the amount of hollowed marks received is increased by 50%. Rune Escape is next, and this is where when crafting runes at the ZMI, you will no longer craft mind, body, or elemental runes. Barbarian Pest Wars is next, and this one is where Barbarian Assault, Pest Control points, and Soul Wars Zeal tokens are all boosted by 100%. Rogue's Chompy Farm is next, and this is where Tithe Farm points are boosted by 100%. Rogue's Den Maze is boosted by 10%, and each Chompy bird kill is going to be worth 2. Mother's Magic Fossils is next. We've all seen this. Clued In is next, and that is where NPCs that drop clue scrolls will have a 1 in 30 chance of dropping them. Moving on to Message in a Bottle, this is where clue geodes, nests, and bottles are found 3 times more often. Dine and Dash is next, and this is where you'll have a 10% chance that you will get extra cooked food. Moving on to Slay and Pay, this one is where completing Slayer tasks will award 10% more points. Superior Tracking is where superior Slayer monsters will have a 1 in 150 chance of appearing. Slay All Day is where killing a Slayer monster on task will heal you for 1 point. Armadillion Decree is next, and this one is where when you are wielding 4 Armadillo items, your bolt effects will have 25% increased chance to activate. Moving on to Divine Restoration, this is where 1 prayer point will restore every 15 seconds. Next is Living on a Prayer, which is where your prayer drains 15% slower. Next is Praying Respects, which is where bones, ashes are auto-buried. Molten Miner is next, which will give you a 20% chance that mined ore will be smelted into a bar. Up next is Rock Solid, which has a 25% chance that iron ore, sandstone, and granite will not deplete. Certified Farmer is next, which is where farming resources harvested are always noted and have a 25% chance to be doubled. Seedy Business is another one, is where you will have a 10% chance to save the seed after you plant it. Chef's Catch is another one, which will give you 20% chance that any fish caught is cooked, granting cooking experience. Catch of the Day is another one, which is where all types of fish has a 1 in 500 chance to roll the rare drop table. Chinchonkers is another one, which is where Chinchompas yield 50% more experience. Additionally, you gain 2 Chinchompas instead of 1 per successful trap. Slash and Burn is another one, which is where 20% chance that chopped logs are burned, granting fire making experience. We have Homewrecker as another one, which is where bird nests from wood cutting have a 2 times chance of being dropped. Smooth Criminal is another one, which is where your chance to successfully pickpocket is increased by 15%, and you no longer take damage from being stunned. Deeper Pockets gives you a 20% chance to gain double loot when pickpocketing. This stacks with the Rogue's outfit. Tactical Duelist makes it to where melee weapon charges have a 20% chance to be saved. Unholy Warrior makes it to where melee attacks have 12% more accuracy with 0 prayer points left. Bandosian Might makes it to where when wielding 4 Bandos items, your max hit is increased by 1 per attack speed. Ceradoman Defense is where when wielding 4 Ceradoman items, if you've taken damage in the last 2.4 seconds, your max hit is increased by 2. Larger Recharge is where your special attack points are restored by 10% every 25 seconds. Mixologist is where creating potions has a 25% chance to create their 4-dose variant and 20% chance of saving their secondary ingredient. Just Druid is where your herblore experience from cleaning herbs is increased by 10%. Pro-Fletchional is where experience from fletching and stringing bows is increased by 30%. Pro-Tips is when fletching gems into tips, you will receive 30% more tips. Rudy Tooty is where each time a rune is crafted, there is a 20% chance to get double the amount of runes. Hot on the Trail is where lighting fires gives 2% chance at receiving a clue scroll. Finally, Venom Master, Veno Master, makes it to where apply poison and poison immunity. Your attacks have a chance to inflict 3 poison damage. Additionally, you are immune to being poisoned and venomed. Moving on, let's talk about the set effects, which arguably are going to be more interesting, starting with Absolute Unit. This will make it to where you take 30% less damage from monsters and 50% of post-reduction damage is reflected to the attacker. You can get this set effect by either having 2 fragments or 4 fragments, and equipping 4 fragments to get the set effect will make the set effect stronger. But moving on to the next set effect, which is called the Alchemist, and this makes it to where when cooking food, making jugs of wine, cleaning herbs, making potions, all of the items in your inventory will be processed at once and reward the full experience. Chain Magic is where after a successful magic attack, you will have a 30% chance to do another magic attack roll. This is another one that has multiple levels to it, and depending on the amount of fragments that you have going towards that final fragment is depending on the level. But moving on to the Craftsman, this is another one where when smelting ores, smithing bars and cannonballs, crafting with leather, glass, uncut gems, pottery, battle staffs, spinning flax and wool, fletching logs, cutting bolt tips, all of those items in your inventory will be processed at once and reward the full experience. Double Tap is another one that can be leveled up, and this is where after a successful range attack, you will have a 30% chance to do another range attack roll. Draken's Touch is yet another one that can be leveled up, and this is where any successful attack has a 50% chance of restoring your hit points by 5% of the damage dealt. Fast Metabolism is another one, and this one makes it to where your hit point regeneration is quadrupled. Greedy Gatherer is another one that can be leveled up, and this one will make it to where you gain double resources from fishing, woodcutting, mining, and farming. Knife's Edge is another one that can be leveled up, and this is where for every hit point missing, you will deal 0.3% additional damage in all combat styles. Last Recall, we all know what that is. Personal Banker is one that can be leveled up, and it gives you a 50% chance that resources gathered from fishing, woodcutting, mining, and farming will be sent directly to your bank. Trailblazer is one, and this one will give you an item that allows you to teleport to major areas. Twin Strikes is next, and this one can be leveled up, and this is where after a successful melee attack, you have 30% chance to do another melee attack roll. And then the final one that we have here is called Unchained Talent, and this is where all non-combat skills receive a permanent +8 boost. So I'm not going to go over any of the tasks. So that is all of the information that I have for this video. I hope it helped you guys out. Come check me out live here when the league starts. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm out.